Today on the table I have the Glock 42 and the DB380. You will see a price split of about $182, the Glock 42 being about $182 more than the DB380. Size: the DB380 is a shorter firearm. It's also not as long, and it is skinnier. It is also a lighter firearm. Trigger brake. The DB380 does have a very long trigger brake. This is your reset. And when the trigger breaks, I do get quite a bit of movement in the front sight. Glock. I also get movement in the front sight. Where the trigger breaks is actually a lot shorter. Here's the reset. Just because of how short the Glock's trigger brake is, even though they both get movement in the front sight, I do prefer the Glock's trigger better than the DB380. Now they both do break down very similar. What you're going to do is eject the magazine, make sure it's clear, dry fire it, and then this tab right here, it's on both sides. You're going to pull this down, and the slide comes off. Sights. The DB380 uses a 3-dot system, very fine dots. Your Glock has your Glock combat sights. I really don't see an advantage to either one. If the trigger brake was better on the DB380, I'd like these smaller sights better because I'd be able to make a more precise shot, but because it's just as good as the Glock, it really doesn't matter. The DB380 does not have a slide stop. The Glock 42 does. Very easy to use. I feel the Glock 42 is slightly easier to rack too. It just seems like there's a little less weight there. DB380 is a bit harder. Mag release from your normal shooting position. The DB380, you gotta shift your grip slightly. It's not so much that the button's hard to hit, that it's kind of sticky. Also, going in, the magazine is very tough to get to go in. Glock 42 from your normal shooting position, good to go. Nice big fat button. I don't need to change anything about my grip, I can just hit it. The biggest problem is when the magazine releases, gets caught on my hand right there. But that's not the firearm's fault really, it's kind of my fault. Going in, very easy. Now what would I pick? The DB380 or the Glock 42? Even though the DB380 is practically half the price of the Glock 42, and you do get a holster and different base plates, the Glock 42 you get a very nice case, cleaning brush, trigger lock, and an extra magazine, so that soaks up a lot of the price split. Plus the Glock 42 does have a slide stop and slide release. The company itself is a more proven system than the DB380. Just the construction of this firearm feels cheaper. And I don't really see a point in having that pinky extender because no matter what, I can't get a full grip on it. I can't get one on the Glock either, but it's a little bit better because I can get half my pinky on it. So myself, I'd pony up the extra cash and go with the Glock 42. But leave in the comments below which one you would pick and why. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe.